welcome to this deep dive, and it's a custom one today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is all thanks to you guys. You sent in some really fascinating research about human-AI ethical partnerships.
Sounds pretty complex.
It is, but that's why we're doing a deep dive. We're going to try to unpack it together, see how we can create AI that's not just smart, but also ethically sound. Really a partner to humans.
And that's the key, right? Partner, not replacement.
Exactly. And get this, we've got some really interesting real-world examples of this in action, stuff I never even thought of.
Well, let's hear it. What's this research all about?
Well, one of the big ideas that jumped out at me was shared authority. It's not about, AI taking over. It's more about AI and humans both having their strengths.
Like a true partnership, bringing different things to the table.
Exactly. Like, imagine a doctor, right, trying to diagnose a really rare disease.
Super tough.
Right. AI could analyze thousands of medical journals in seconds, help the doctor see things he might have missed.
Wow, so it's like AI is doing all the heavy lifting with the data.
Exactly. But then, it's still the doctor who makes the final call. You're thinking about the patient's life, their preferences.
Stuff that AI might not pick up on.
Right. It's going beyond just the data. And this isn't just in healthcare either. Like, think about a company trying to manage their supply chain.
Okay, so AI could analyze all the, potential problems?
Yep. Flag all the red flags. But then it'd be up to the humans to actually decide what to do about those problems.
Because humans understand all the nuances, the cultural context, all that.
Exactly. And this leads to something even cooler. These recursive feedback loops.
Recursive feedback loops. What are those?
So basically, the AI and the humans are learning from each other, constantly evolving and, becoming more ethically aligned.
So it's not just programming ethics into the AI, it's actually learning them through interaction.
That's it. There's this example in the research.
Mm-hmm.
Social workers using AI to help make decisions about their clients.
Wow, high stakes.
Right. But as the social workers make choices, the AI is watching and learning from those choices. Over time, it starts to get a feel for those human-centered things that you can't just get from data.
So it's almost like the AI is developing empathy.
Almost. Like developing its own moral compass based on what it sees humans doing. And there's another example, this one's from law enforcement. AI was helping with sentencing recommendations.
Oh, wow. That's controversial.
It is. But the judge's feedback actually changed the AI over time. It started to understand those ethical complexities.
So it's not just a static system, it's really adapting.
Exactly. But here's the thing. If we're going to have these partnerships with AI, we have to understand how it's making decisions.
Transparency.
Yes.
Yes.
Transparency is huge. Like, imagine you're a doctor and the AI recommends a treatment.
Okay, yeah.
You want to know why made that recommendation, right? What data it used.
It's like you need to be able to audit the AI's thought process.
Exactly. And this applies to so many things. Finance, for example. If AI is making loan decisions,
we need to be able to see how those decisions are being made.
And that brings us to something I found really interesting. These adaptable ethical frameworks.
Adaptable, so they're not fixed.
Right, because the world changes. Our ethics evolve. It's not like you can just program a set of rules and call it a day.
Yeah, that makes sense. What kind of examples did they have?
Well, think about public policy. An AI system helping to design a public park, let's say. It could analyze tons of data.
About the community, what people want.
Right. But it would also need to consider things like cultural values, historical significance, stuff that's specific to that place.
Like context, that's what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. They call these context modules. They let the AI adapt to the specific situation so it's both efficient and sensitive to all those nuances.
It's like the AI is developing cultural awareness.
And now, this is what I'm really excited about. These hybrid human-AI ethical advisory models. It's like the ultimate partnership.
Oh, how so?
Picture this. A company facing some ethical dilemma, right? AI swoops in, analyzes all the data.
Flags potential risks, suggests different options.
But then it's the humans who take it from there. They consider the human impact, the long-term consequences.
They bring that ethical awareness to the table.
And the research had some real-world examples, like AI being used to flag potential ethical breaches in corporate governance.
That's a big one. And it's not just flagging them, right? What happens next?
Well, the AI can analyze the data, but then it's up to human advisors to figure out what to do. They understand the cultural sensitivity, the relationships with stakeholders.
So it's really about finding that balance. AI helps, but humans are still in control.
Exactly. Now, before we get to the real-world examples, let's do a quick overview of the different frameworks for this whole human-AI interaction.
Okay, late on me.
Okay, so we've got fully autonomous, human-in-the-loop, augmented intelligence, and then collaborative decision-making. They all sort of show how much control humans have.
There's a whole spectrum of possibilities.
Right. And the research actually found that these hybrid approaches, like human-in-the-loop, often do better than systems that are either all human or all AI.
Huh. So the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Collaboration is key.
I'm really blown away by the potential here. It's almost like we're on the verge of something huge. But of course, there are challenges too.
Well, that's what makes it so interesting, right? Figuring out how to do this ethically.
Exactly. And I'm really looking forward to diving into those real-world examples you found, seeing how this is playing out in different fields.
Well, you're in for a treat, because next time, we're diving deep into case studies, from healthcare to criminal justice and beyond.
All right, so we've talked about the theory, the models, all that, but now let's get to the good stuff, those real-world examples.
You ready for this? Because some of these are pretty mind-blowing.
Hit me with it. Where do we even start?
Well, healthcare is a big one. I mean, it's already seeing a huge impact from these partnerships.
Oh, yeah, the AI diagnostic tools. I remember that from the research.
Right. Helping doctors, especially in like radiology and all those complex fields. There was this one study, actually.
Wait, was it the one where the AI was spotting things in images that human radiologists missed? Yeah. Like cancer even?
That's the one. And it's not about replacing the radiologist. It's more like AI is another set of eyes.
Providing extra insights, like a consultant.
Exactly. And think about the speed. AI can analyze thousands of images while a human's just getting started.
So it's really boosting what doctors can do, catching things earlier, saving lives.
That's the goal. And it's not just diagnostics either. It's helping with treatment, too.
Oh, right. But I know some people are worried about AI making those treatment decisions.
Yeah. No, it's not like that. The AI looks at tons of data, the patient's history, genetics, everything.
To come up with treatment options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the final call. Still the doctor, talking with the patient, of course.
So it's giving them more info, but not taking over.
More info, more options, better decisions. But, okay, ready for a controversial one.
Lay it on me.
Criminal justice. The use of AI there is, well, it's tricky.
Yeah, I can imagine. Especially those risk assessments, right? Helping judges make decisions.
Bail, sentencing, the whole thing. And there's always been that worry about bias.
Because the AI learns from data, and that data can be biased already.
Exactly. But there was this one study, right? Judges got training on how the AI worked, and
they were encouraged to, question it, not just blindly follow.
Yeah. And guess what? They actually made fewer biased decisions.
So the AI was making them think harder about their own biases.
Making them be more critical. And another study looked at sentencing. When they used AI, sentencing got more consistent across different judges.
So less of a chance that your race or background would affect your sentence. That's a big deal.
Huge. But yeah, more research is needed for sure. But it's promising. Okay, ready for a fun one?
Always. What have you got?
Self-driving cars. I bet you've thought about those.
Oh, for sure. But ethically, it's like a minefield, right?
Yeah. Totally. Those split-second decisions. Avoid an accident, but who gets hurt? The passenger. Someone walking by.
Yeah, how do you even program that? It's like moral judgment.
It's tough. But they did the study asking people what they'd prefer.
Like, how should the car be programmed?
Exactly. And most people said they wanted the car to minimize harm overall.
Even if it meant sacrificing the people inside the car.
In some cases, yeah. Like hitting a wall to avoid hitting a group of people. Tough choices, right?
Intense. So it's not just about following the rules of the road. It's about those deeper values.
And the companies are working on it, trying to get those values into the algorithms.
I mean, it makes you wonder if we're really ready for self-driving cars, if it's this complex.
It's a valid point. But that's what's so cool about all this. It's evolving. As AI gets smarter, we'll learn more, make it safer.
And hopefully more ethical, too. Okay, so we've seen healthcare, criminal justice, transportation. What else is there?
Well, what about organizations? Like companies, there's a lot of potential for ethical AI there.
Oh, yeah. Making workplaces fairer, more transparent.
They were using AI for hiring to try and reduce bias. Because traditional hiring, it's full of bias, right?
Oh, yeah. Conscious and unconscious.
So AI analyzes the resumes, focuses on skills, not gender or race.
So everyone has a fair shot. But how do they make sure the AI itself isn't biased?
That's the key. It's all about humans being involved. checking the AI's work, making sure there's no hidden bias in the data.
So again, it's AI assisting, not replacing.
Exactly. And then we're using it for ethical sourcing too, supply chains.
Wasn't there a company using AI to analyze their suppliers, looking for problems with labor practices, stuff like that?
Yeah, Unilever. They actually saw suppliers get way better at following those ethical guidelines after they started using AI.
So it's like AI was the watchdog, flagging problems, then humans took over.
It's all about giving humans the information they need to make those tough ethical calls.
Not letting the AI decide for us.
Exactly. And that's the big picture here, right? These partnerships, they're not about replacing us. They're about empowering us, giving us more information, helping us see things we might miss.
And hopefully making the world a little more ethical along the way. It's amazing to see all these examples, but it's a lot to process.
It is. And like I said, we're just getting started.
There's so much more to learn. So as we wrap up these examples, what are the key things you want our listener to take away? I feel like my brain is bursting with all this info about AI and ethics.
It's a lot to take in, that's for sure. But I think the big takeaway is that we're talking about teamwork here. Humans and AI working together.
Yeah, like you said before, it's collaboration, not replacement.
Exactly. We need both sides to create systems that are effective but also ethical. Systems that reflect our values.
You know what really stuck with me? That idea that AI can help us see our own biases.
Oh, right. Like in the criminal justice example, the AI was almost forcing the judges to confront their own assumptions.
It's like AI holding up a mirror, making us think, wait, am I being biased here?
That's a great way to put it. And it makes sense, right? The AI learns from our data, so if that data has bias,
The AI picks up on it.
and then by interacting with the AI, we have to face those biases head on.
It's like a conversation almost. AI making us question our own values and choices.
Powerful stuff. But we can't forget, there are still risks and challenges with AI.
Yeah, we got to be realistic.
One of the big ones is jobs, right? What happens when AI can do more and more of the tasks humans do now?
Job displacement. It's a valid concern. But I also think about how, historically, technology has always disrupted the job market.
And created new jobs too, right?
Exactly. So the key is to adapt, learn new skills, find new ways to contribute.
We need to prepare people for the jobs of the future. Jobs that'll need people who understand both human and artificial intelligence.
Not just the technical stuff either. Critical thinking, ethical reasoning, being able to work side by side with AI.
It's a whole new set of skills, because in the end, it's not humans versus machines. It's humans and machines working together.
To create a better future for everyone.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one message you want our listener to take away?
I think it's this. Be optimistic about AI, but also cautious. Be excited about its potential, but also aware of the risks.
We need to be having those conversations about ethics, setting guidelines, making sure AI is used responsibly.
And remembering that AI is a tool.
Yeah.
It should help us, not replace us. We get to decide how AI shapes our future.
Well said. It's been a pleasure diving into this with you.
Likewise. And to our listener, huge thanks for sending in this research and making this deep dive possible. We hope you've learned something new about the power of human-AI collaboration. And remember, if you have a topic you'd like us to explore, send it our way. Until next time, keep diving deep.